Being able to serve your country and fulfill that duty is such a massive undertaking. It's important that after all that time that they come home and that their needs are met.
As an actor playing the role of Major Sonia Holloway on 68 Whiskey, I've learned that more than 345,000 women have deployed since 9/11, and that the fastest growing population of veterans are women. But women aren't getting the respect and quality health care they've earned from Veterans Affairs medical centers and clinics across the country. It's time to fix this problem.
This is an opportunity for me to roll my sleeves up and try to create a difference and do something about something I really believe in.
Hey, Richard. I need your help.
Okay.
It's time to enroll in the VA. Where do I even start?
When I joined, I went to a local VA clinic.
I've tried to look this up, but it is not obvious on the
Yeah, it's not. Nothing about the VA is obvious. Sorry, I couldn't be more helpful.
No, it's okay.
Lindsay Rodman is a major in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserves. She served on active duty for 8 years, including deployments to Okinawa and Afghanistan. Now she works for Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, better known as IAVA, where she's fighting to make sure women veterans are recognized and supported at the VA. I invited Lindsay to meet me in Los Angeles so I could learn more about this issue and see what I can do to help.
Mommy's going to go to California, Daddy.
Hi! It's such a pleasure to meet you in person.
to meet in person.
A real life Sonia Holloway and more.
Meeting a woman face to face who has real life experience with what I'm doing on the show
Yeah.
is such an honor and a privilege. So I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to tell you about all the stuff we're working on at IAVA, too.
Good, me too.
We're wrapping it up. We're on the last episode.
On the show, so much of it was like, okay, what is this life that I'm stepping into?
I had so much fun on active duty, but I had to work really hard while I was in the military to be a part of the boys' club. And I didn't want to get my health care in that environment. You just want to go to the hospital and just be yourself 100%. And that really, I guess, scared me away from going to the VA.
What did you bump into that you were like, this needs to change?
For example, some of the trailblazers who came before me went to VAs where there was literally no women's health provider.
What?
Yeah. Now, there might be a women's health provider, but they might be 3 hours away across town.
Right.
Or they might only be available on Tuesday. And unfortunately, there isn't urgency at the VA to actually confront that issue.
So what is the IAVA trying to accomplish with this?
We are asking people to support the Deborah Sampson Act. What it does is it provides the VA with the resources it needs to bring the care that we provide to women veterans up to the standards that we've come to expect from male veterans.
Lindsay is one of more than 2 million living women veterans.
So I have 3 women that I'm really excited to introduce you to.
I'm eager to hear more of their stories so I can get a clear understanding of what they're facing and what's important to them.
Hi, this is Krishna.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Krishna Flores, Corporal, United States Marine Corps. Era!
Liz and Sarah.
Hi. Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. Hi, Liz.
Sarah Serrano, Sergeant, United States Marine Corps.
Liseth Robertson, Aviation Machinist Mate 3rd Class, United States Navy.
Krishna, tell me about your service and active duty experience.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you ready? All right. I served in the United States Marine Corps. I did 4 years active duty. So this is what Iraq looks like. That's a convoy. This is my security squad. I volunteered to go with a different unit doing convoy security with MPs.
You're the only woman.
There's 2. This is my friend Tucker. He died in Iraq. I get very emotional about it. And I know I didn't have the best experience out there, and my squad treated me like shit, but there were a couple of guys who, in the end, were solid.
Well, unlike this ladies, I was in the Navy. I was a grease monkey. My job was to launch, recover, and do inspections of F-18s. And in my shop, for some time, I was the only female.
So what was the hardest part about being the only women amongst all these men?
Proving your name.
Proving your name.
Worth,
Yeah.
getting the respect that you
Yeah.
deserve. There's a double standard,
It's
period,
like,
for
yeah.
women in all branches. It left some deep scars, you know? And I know my sisters know that.
So transitioning out of service, how do you find it now?
When I go to the VA now, I dress down, I wear like big chunky sweaters, no makeup.
I don't wear skirts, short skirts.
Oh no,
They pass
I
my
never
knees
wear
if
anything
I wear a dress
cute
to the VA.
because then
Because of cat calls.
and now it's not just the Marines and I'm back to normal. So I'm wearing my normal clothes. It's even worse.
Like for me, when I was in the service, unfortunately, I had an incident that occurred which left me with a lot of anger and anxiety. First time I went to the VA, let's just say I left running and crying out of there because there were Vietnam veterans that were not used to seeing women, and a lot of them were like yelling, "Hey, you see?" And I'm like, whoa, I was like, excuse me? And they're like, this is for veterans. I'm like, and I served 8 years in the United States Navy, and they're like, your husband does not count. I'm like,
When this is happening, where is somebody?
They're oblivious.
yeah, doing their own thing. They kind of just glance, and they're like, oh, whatever.
What do you wish had been available to you that wasn't?
The first one, improving access to services.
And that, depending on the VA, it can literally mean we don't have enough women's bathrooms.
Honestly, some people don't even want medicine. Like I went in there and I didn't want any narcotics. I want somebody to sit there with me and figure out what it is that I gotta do to get better. I miss the person that I used to be.
Integrating healthcare for women and services and resources together, and that's the most important part.
You know, women need to know that, okay, somebody's in my corner, somebody's there for me, you know?
And it's us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think by speaking about this, hopefully that's what we can achieve in raising awareness. And it's because of your stories that some change is going to happen. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much.
My mind is kind of blown after talking to these women.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm just beginning to understand the needs of vets and really understand that more people need to pay attention. And this is just a small handful of women.
Right.
So I'm thinking these stories are out there and they're not being heard. I feel so inspired by all of you and really want to get some more answers because there's got to be a way to change this. The demand is higher than ever.
They're certainly not ready to meet the needs of the women who are coming down the pike.
To find out what the VA needs to better serve women veterans, we're meeting with Dr. Fatma Bachman, the medical director of the Women's Health Program at the VA in Greater Los Angeles, one of the largest in the entire VA system.
I think we are one of the pioneers in women's health care. We call it one-stop shop. As a veteran, you come in, you can see your primary care provider, you can see your mental health provider, you can talk to your social worker, you can get your prescriptions.
It sounds like you guys in the LA County, you feel you're set up to handle these needs and wants of the women. How would you like to see everything improve all around?
Well, we work hard. We are trying to develop an environment that's safe. Most new VAs, they have independent clinics. It's just women's clinic. I think it takes time to change the culture, and our goal is to make it better every day.
Can you talk a little bit about where you think the resources are going to be needed to make sure that we're taking care of the female population, especially as it grows?
When they built this clinic, they had only 400 women. Today, we see 10,000 women. But the space is the same space. I want to recruit more trained women's health providers. We want to train our mental health providers. We need social workers. Gynecology services are very limited in certain areas. Unfortunately, it takes resources. And where the resource comes from, it comes from Congress.
Right.
And if they provide those, then I think every VA will provide excellent care for our veterans.
I'm hopeful that some of what's in the Act will create the resources to really enable them to provide the kind of health care that we're looking for. Of course, organizations like mine are going to be watching like a hawk to make sure that they're taking care of women the right way.
It's
It's a massive undertaking. It's not going to change overnight. I think we all agreed on that. And I think, we all agreed that things need to change. I'm really happy that people like Lindsay are speaking up and advocating, and I think the best way to go about that is to get Congress to see that these needs are real. People are asking for them. Their lives depend on these changes, and that there's more that can be done to help.
The Deborah Sampson Act was introduced to recognize the service of women veterans and ensure they receive equal treatment at the VA now and long into the future. I'm writing my senator to demand she support this legislation. Go to iava.org/supportwomenvets, where you can directly contact your representatives. These women put their lives on the line for us. Now we must take action for them.